Well, that was an absolute disaster. I'm sure you all by now have seen the interaction between Donald Trump and President Zelensky in the Oval Office. So, are you ready to move to Costa Rica yet? Let's talk about visas. So, right now, I am what is called a tourist. I'm on a tourist visa. Tourist visa used to be 90 days, but after COVID, they have extended it to 180 days. So, you get 6 months in this beautiful country to explore, to decide where you want to live, decide if this is right for you. At the end of that 180 days, you have to do what they call a border run. A border run is where you leave to another country for at least, they recommend 72 hours. A lot of people here go to Nicaragua or Panama. It's within driving distance. They spend a long weekend, they come back across, they get their passport stamped for another 180 days. So that's currently what I'm on. And then the next visa I want to talk about is the renter's visa. Renter's visa means you haven't bought a place here, you're renting, you're exploring, you're checking it out. A renter's visa, you have to show that you're making $2,500 a month regularly, consistently. This is for you, your spouse, and your dependent children, pretty low threshold. And you get that income not in Costa Rica. It has to be either from your remote job, rental income from another country, or a trust fund. Just as long as you can show that that's consistent money that's coming in, and that you have to show that you will have that income for at least 2 years. At the end of that 2 years, you have to renew that visa again. Now, it takes about 3 years for you to be able to even apply for temporary residency. So you're going to have to renew that visa at least once before you can even apply for temporary residency. And you have to be living in Costa Rica even to apply for that temporary residency. So that is a great way to do that, especially if you're not sure if you're wanting to purchase property here or anything like that. Rent here is abundant and pretty inexpensive. I know a lot of places that some of my friends live at, they're $500 a month. So it is a great visa to get that gives you some privileges, and you don't have to do the border runs anymore at that point. The next visa that I want to talk about is the investment visa. The investment visa is where you invest $150,000 into Costa Rica. That can be buying a house. That can be buying a business. That can be buying an empty plot of land, as long as that's worth $150,000. That can also be investing in Costa Rica's infrastructure. That visa is good for 5 years. At the end of that 5 years, you have to just show that you still have retained that property. Now, if you buy a business in Costa Rica, you cannot work in that business. You can take ownership share, but you have to hire locals, ticos and ticas, in order to run the business. So say you bought a restaurant and you are the owner of that restaurant. You cannot cook in that restaurant. You cannot wait tables in that restaurant. You have to hire locals to do that. You can go around and shake everybody's hand and make sure they're all having a good time and manage it, make sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to, but you can't actually work in it. So that is an interesting distinction that they have here in Costa Rica as well. That also gets you moving towards temporary and permanent residency. Once you are a permanent resident or a citizen, then you can work in Costa Rica, but not before then. The next visa I want to talk to you about is the retirement visa. So a retirement visa just means that you have to show income of $1,000 a month coming in. That's you and your spouse, not each, altogether. I think that's a really low threshold. And that income has to come from a pension or VA benefits or Social Security. And then that visa is also good for 2 years. And then you'll have to renew it again just to show that you're still getting the same amount. I know it's a fixed income, but you still got to prove it's coming in. So those are the different visas that Costa Rica offers. And then you move into temporary residency, permanent residency, and then citizenship. which citizenship takes about 7 years, a lot of money, a lot of lawyer fees. So, but you have to be living in the country in order for you to even apply for those things. So I hope this helps. I hope this gives you a lot more understanding. I hope that this also makes you feel a little bit better about escaping the United States. And if you have any questions, comments, I would love to hear from you. We also have a YouTube channel called Costa Rica Connections 2025. There's a lot more information over there, a lot of fun videos on like us going to the farmer's market, the feria, and cooking breakfast and what a normal Costa Rican breakfast looks like, and just various things that my husband and I do that's a lot of fun. So check us out and subscribe, and if you will like, share, follow, I would love that. That would go a long way. And until next time, pura vida.